And I should be live, so hello and welcome. So this weekend will be interesting because I kind of ended up being blocked on everything, which is sad state to be in, but I mean, it is what it is. So I can't really work on my stream bot because hey, welcome to the stream. I can't really work on my stream bot because I run into really weird, I don't know if it's a bug or if it's just like some weird behavior, but basically I'm getting an error out of the CPP REST library and I really have no idea what the heck is happening there. I can't really work on the solver because there I kind of got stuck in the with the issue that the current version of Clang that's available as stable doesn't yet have the super freshest C++ 20-bit manipulation libraries. So this kind of leaves me with one thing to work on, which is the UI. And this will be fun because I haven't touched the UI in a while. And to be brutally honest, I have kind of forgotten what the heck I did here. So it'll be interesting. It doesn't even compile. I need to figure out like what the heck is even happening. Kind of try to refresh my memory on how this even is supposed to like work and stuff. So it'll be an interesting weekend for sure. But as usual, you know, feel free to ask questions. I would be super happy to explain anything. So for the most part, this will be writing C++ code that gets transpiled into ASM JS, which is basically like an assembler equivalent that's actually JavaScript. And the point there is the virtual engines for JavaScript are pretty good at processing that type of code because it's very like close to, you know, actual bytecode. So you get a pretty good speed. So this is what the UI is written in. It's still pretty C++-ish. Like there's a JavaScript leaking in through the cracks for sure. Like you will see that I have things that kind of, you know, document.call get element by ID. Yeah, that's JavaScript. but it's written in C++. So yeah, it's a little bit of a funky thing to work with, but it's pretty neat. So let's try to figure out what the heck is the state of this thing, because I really don't remember. Okay. And actually let me move this up a little bit so you can actually see better. Okay, yeah, that's much better. So, first of all, let me actually check. Yeah, okay, so we do have the latest version here, which is good. Okay, what's the diff here? Interesting. I hope this is the latest version. No such file. Ah, right, because this needs to be done differently. Right. I'm starting to remember. So it's, yeah, MC make, right, okay, but for that actually I should update my SDK. But there was do I just do git pull? Maybe. let's see. Okay. Oops, no, not like that. Right. Wait, what? Permission thing? What the heck? But I definitely have the permissions. Why the heck would it? I mean, this should be fine. Okay, let's look into the history because I actually... Ah, it's MCMS. Ah, okay. And that's why it's saying permission denied, because it was trying to execute the directory, which is of course nonsense. Okay. Now we are getting somewhere. Right, and now I should just make... This should work, hopefully. Okay, seems to be... Okay, cool, perfect. Ooh, okay, I was getting worried there. So let's start the... Yeah, I had this thing run server. I think I run it from here. Yes. Okay, cool. So now, if I go to my browser, open this. Oh yeah, okay, but it's obviously not 000. It will be localhost. But this one is like this. No. It's just straight up localhost. Ah, okay, cool. So this is running good. So first of all, let's just write down the things I would like to tweak a bit. So one problem that I don't particularly like, just from like visual perspective, is like, first of all, we start with an empty grid, which, okay, that's not a big deal, but then if you load any puzzle, it will basically fill in all the candidates. And I was kind of thinking, like, this is like, it's okay, but it's super busy. And I'm kind of thinking that, like, for the most part, if you are looking at a puzzle, maybe this is not the best way to display it. Like, there almost should be a threshold, like, only show the candidates where if the square has like less than 4 possible candidates or something like that. Then basically you end up with empty squares that, you know, you don't see stuff. It definitely should be something configurable, because sometimes you actually do want to see all the candidates, but it's just like by default this is super busy and I don't like it. So have yeah, so have slider to configure threshold when candidates I cannot write again. Candidates are shown. Right. Let's just move this up and to the side so you can see it. Right. So that's one thing I would like. Second thing is, right now you can only ever select one square. And that's a bit annoying, because many times you kind of want to go around and, like, let's say I want to remove one as a candidate from this entire row, except for like this one thing, right? It should be possible to basically click, drag, and select, you know, all the squares that I want to modify. So yeah, some sort of click, drag selection, and potentially something like in normal software, when you are holding down, I think it's Control, right? You can just keep selecting stuff. So maybe like if you hold Control and click, then it just extends the selection. Something like that. I was also kind of thinking about these buttons. Like, these buttons are not amazing. Like, first of all, when you switch the two modes, the one is, you know, setting down the number, and this is the candidates. I kind of feel like this should change to reflect that. Like, if I'm in the candidate mode, like, this should show up the small numbers, which is like a small change, but it makes it more obvious what's happening. Switch buttons to candidates when switch buttons to candidates when candidate mode is selected, right? And I was also looking at the material design. The thing is, right now all of this is SVG, which is good, but it doesn't look amazing. I could switch it into specifically material design Lite, because that one is just, you can include the CSS, the JavaScript file, and that's it. Make candidates gray. Oh, instead of black. Oh yeah, actually that might look pretty neat. That's a very nice tip, thank you. Yeah, that might look, it will look less busy because of that, yeah. So basically in the material design Lite, you get like pre-made things like, you know, sliders and stuff. So if I want to have like the slider for, you know, the threshold or something, then I can just, you know, do this and it will get styled very nicely, you know, with the material design style. So I'm kind of tempted to start using this, but I don't know. It's yeah, and they have like everything. They have like buttons with animations and, you know, a bunch of things. Yeah, it's hard to say. Like, I'm ambivalent right now about this, but it's certainly a possibility. Like right now, again, if I just inspect the code, right, like all of this. Oh, let's make this bigger. Yes. Okay. Come on. Where's the? Oh, here is the border. Right. It's maybe still not big enough. Oh, what the heck? It stopped increasing. Well, okay, anyway. So, hopefully you can see something on the screen. So this is just SVG stuff. So you have SVG groups, you have text, rectangles. So from that perspective, it's like a very clean UI because it's all just SVG and there's nothing special here. Like, basically everything is just painted into the view box. That's how I create the layouts. Like there's no like weird special stuff. It's just that, you know, this is the view box and then everything just gets positioned inside of that. And the same for the Sudoku puzzle, like this is the view box for the Sudoku puzzle and then everything gets kind of, you know, positioned inside of that. Right. So yeah, it's more of a long-term thing I will need to think about and kind of decide what to do about this. But okay, like I think we have plenty of stuff on the list for now to kind of go through. So okay, let's start with the simplest thing, making the candidates gray. That should be pretty straightforward, and that's not even C++. So if I go to the style, do I have a specific? I have small digit, hidden small digit, right? So if I just do gray and gray over here, then because this is WebAssembly, I need to go to here and just build it, and then just reload. Oh wow, that does look way better. Okay. Now this is much better. Thanks for the tip. Okay. So that thing is done. Let's try to now switch the buttons to candidates when the candidate mode is selected. That should still be relatively easy. Now the question is, there are kind of two ways to do it, right? Like I can have kind of I can have the small numbers always there. They can just be hidden. That would kind of be the easiest way, and then I just flip it, right? Like if I switch the mode to this one, I just make the big ones visible and the small ones hidden. If I click on this one, I just do the opposite direction, right? Or because, well, the problem is it's not just the class of the number, it's also the position, because the 8 should be, you know, at the position of the 8, the 7 should be at the position of the 7, and so on. So yeah, I think the hidden and shown kind of approach will be the cleanest here. So where do I actually generate this? Right, so I think, yeah, I kind of started to refactor this code a little bit, but not too much. So I do have I have extracted the Sudoku square representation, but I think that's actually it. So I guess maybe that's actually one of the things I should do this stream, is to kind of clean up the code a bit, because right now there's still a bunch of loose functions that just do things, and it's not particularly well encapsulated. Yeah. Okay. So let's try to do that, and that will actually allow me to refresh myself on the code a little bit, because right now I have to admit that I don't really remember what the heck I was doing here. It's a lot of code, and yeah. Oh wait, so there's, okay, so the Sudoku UI, yeah, that's kind of the representation of the Sudoku grid, I think. Or was that the representation of the... Yeah, so this is the, yeah, okay, so this is the representation of the Sudoku grid itself, because it has the squares in it. Okay. Right. But where does this actually export? We render backgrounds. Okay, I have a because it's a struct, I have a suspicion that I'm just directly accessing the members of this. Because I'm not really seeing this exporting the is it vnode or what was the the ASM DOM vnode. So I think, although the puzzle is private, okay, where the heck is this actually accessed? Usage is what? Okay, let's reload. I think my ID is a little bit confused. Did that help? Come on. What? Find usages. Oh, okay. I'm just blind. Okay. UI restore state. Render puzzle. So I mean the root view should be no. So this is the okay. Let's go to the HTML and inspect element. So wait, am I erasing the root from the HTML? Oh, I am. So the body actually starts with an ID root. Oh, okay. Which, sure, that's okay. So what do I do with the root view? I replace it with render puzzle. Okay, so what does render puzzle do? Okay, so this actually adds the two SVGs. So this is the canvas, which is the Sudoku grid. And yeah, this just calls loose functions, which is render squares, render background, render blocks. Okay. And this is my UI that's on the side, which is the render buttons. Okay. So okay, render squares. Okay, UI squares pushback. Okay. So this is where the binding is happening. I'm just manually inserting into the squares over here. So okay, I'm not touching the this part of the class, which is the puzzle, but I'm definitely touching the squares directly. Is actually anything changing this? Puzzle serialize. Oh, so this is just mostly accessed. Oh wait. Oh no, this is my solver puzzle. So this is not the UI part. Okay, okay. Now I'm starting to catch up what the heck is happening. Right. So that's fine. The thing that needs to change is this needs to be a private attribute. It cannot be exposed like this, which means that all the manipulating functions need to also move inside of this struct. Right. So I think that was supposed to be the Sudoku grid over here. So let's do this step by step. So first of all, let's just rename this. So refactoring name. Let's call it Sudoku grid. Let's make it a class. make this public for now. So this should still be all fine. Okay, that seems to work. Just reload. Yep, that's all correct. So let's then just move this piece of code straight up as it is into the separate file. Okay, over here. And there will be a lot of complaints, obviously. Right, so first of all I need to include my Sudoku square, yep. And this thing should be in the UI namespace, so then I don't need this part. Okay. Oh, I keep forgetting to like double check my style because I don't want like the namespaces to be indented. That's such a weird thing. I don't know why it keeps happening. Wait, do I actually? Yeah, I do have the shorter copyright thingy. This one, this one is correct, right? Okay, is this now? No, this will still need like vector and those kind of things. So include vector. What else do I need? String. I mean, I probably don't need them explicitly because they're just candidate mode. What the heck is candidate mode? Because they will be anyway included in the Sudoku square. But okay, so I think this is something that left. Oh, this is just straight up a global thingy. Okay. Oh yes, because this actually gets manipulated by switching the buttons, so it needs to be a global variable. Right, but then okay, where is this actually getting called? On key down, on mouse down. Sure, okay, so in that case I can just make it an extra flag. It's not a massive change, so bool candidate mode, yep. So yeah, and over here just pass it in, and the same over here. Right, so let's see. Right, I'm not including the solver, obviously. Right, so include solver slash Sudoku. Right. Debug log. I don't have debug log. Yes, I suspect this thing should live in some util thing. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just make a new file, C++ file. Let's just call it util. Oh no, this actually shouldn't be a C++. Well, it can be, okay. But I also need a header, obviously. So, util, yep. So, these things, debug log, and this debug string thingy should all just move into the CPP, and then their headers should move into the header. Okay. And of course I'm missing a bunch of includes as usual, but that will be easy to fix. Okay. So the mscript and val, where does that one live? Mscript and yeah, this one. And yep, std string, oops, just string, of course. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so over here I need to include my header. This should all be fine now. Okay. So this can just include the util, and it should be happy. Right, okay, another include over here, so solver stats, yep. Okay. Oh shoot, smart solver. Okay, so this is all the includes. Okay, I will need to move this into the CPP, because right now all the code is in the header, and that's of course bad, but yeah. Okay, so now we don't have this thing, so this should be a UI Sudoku grid now, and it should be included over here. All right, Sudoku grid, yep. Okay, some compilation, some linking issues, right. Undefined symbol debug log, right. I suspect my CMake didn't get updated correctly. So we have add executable, Sudoku square, yep, this is missing stuff. Oops. So wait a second, I have the grid. Yeah, I'm just missing the util, that's it. Yep, that worked. Let's just see if this is still okay. Cool. Okay, so let's try to figure out how we can move the squares into being a private thing. So where is this being used? Okay, so actually the only place is the render squares, which, okay, so this is not horrible. This is actually pretty okay. But I wonder, like, so the thing I'm not super convinced about which way to do this is I kind of feel like I should have something like this on the grid. Basically just get the container, which in this case would be the like the entire SVG canvas that I used to draw the puzzle. And then all the like render squares, whatnot, like those should be kind of a private things, like here, like I have the render candidates, whatnot. That's all kind of inside and it's private. Yep, okay, let's do that. So there would be basically yeah, and let's just make it this will be like a common thing across all these classes. There will just always be this container thing, and that's just literally what it is. So wait a second. Yeah, where do we actually initialize this? Do we do it in the... Oh, this actually doesn't have a constructor. Okay. Yeah, maybe this is a little bit iffy, but well. So I mean, this render, yeah, so the render is actually the thing that sets the container. So okay, second convention that I want to reestablish is have a render method that's actually responsible for setting the container. Now the question is, maybe then the render should actually return the container. I probably still want to accessor the container method itself, because there are situations where I don't necessarily need to re-render everything, but I still want to kind of access the structures that are already rendered. Yeah, I think this is kind of okay approach. Like I'm kind of like having the render method here. So we have the re-render update square, reset square, push history, restore state, update all squares. Yeah, but the actual rendering lives still inside of main. I think that's one of the issues. Okay, let's just move this thing as part of the grid, and let's make it a private method. And also, let's actually have this in the CPP file, because otherwise it just gets very messy. So this is the namespace UI, and please don't indent my namespaces. Yeah, I really need to figure out what the heck is happening there. So this is member of Sudoku Crit. Then over here, yes, oops. Let's just get shortened. Now I need to specify the full namespace for the vnodes. That's fine. Okay, let's see. What am I missing here? So children is ASM DOM. Yep. Okay. Right, so now we are getting to the hard-coded part that I actually... This is one thing I remember I wanted to do. I wanted to kind of get rid of the hard-coded parts of the drawing of the UI. Because right now this is hard-coded to 9 by 9. Okay. Well, let's deal with that a bit later. Let's just fix these things. So this is ASM DOM. All of these are part of ASM DOM. Result. Right. Okay, the on square click. Where should this live? So this is the callback that gets called when someone clicks on a square in the puzzle. This could live inside of this class, but it is kind of unrelated. So I'm almost thinking like we should take this as a thing, as part of the constructor of the Sudoku grid. Just get all the callbacks we want to like bind. Promise that might get a little bit awkward over time, because there will be quite a few of these. I could wrap it into like a convenient wrapper. Let's have a look. So what if we have something like a std vector of a std function, and I think all of these are the same prototype, right? On mouse down, yeah, it's always bool and takes yeah, that takes an mscripten value and it returns a bool. Okay. So this is reasonably simple then. So let's just do a std function, right, like this. And right, so this will be a thing that I just get over here and store it. Right, callbacks, right, and right, I still need to actually add the attribute itself over here. Now, okay, I should actually just move, yeah, I should move from this std move callbacks. Now the thing is, like, next to this I also need an enum, and this enum will basically refer to the indexes inside of this vector. Right. Okay, how do you do class enum again? Class enum. I don't want this one, I want this one, right. But there's some... you specify the underlying type through that, okay. So let's do enum, wait. You don't have to specify class when you basically want something like this. Interesting. Huh, interesting that you don't have to specify the class if you do this. Maybe that's just implicit. It doesn't look like it is implicit over here. Interesting. Okay, but basically I want enum class callbacks. Yeah, the uint 8 will be well good enough for me. And let's just take them one by one. So the first one was on square click, right. Yeah, I think that should be it, right? Yep, this is all. Oh yeah, this should be STD, sure. Okay, so then in the actual code, instead of just doing on square click, which is now an enum, what I want to do is do callbacks on square click. So this will grab whatever is on the index 0 in the callbacks. What? It definitely should be declared. Oh, because now it's right, I need to fully qualify it now. Like this. Yup. Okay. And novab overload. No, you're right, because now it's strongly typed. Damn it, maybe I actually don't want it to be a class, because this would be just annoying. Okay, let's see. If I do it like this without a class, with this, now this doesn't complain. Okay, now cool. Yeah, so now it's not strongly typed. Now it basically decays into an int, and that's good enough. So we have the callback. We need to take it as constructor. So the one thing I didn't check is in my main render squares. Right, so here, okay, render puzzle. Okay, so this thing should actually be the render method. Yeah, this entire thing. But not with the render buttons. Damn it. Yeah, no, okay, so it's this thing, right, this particle section. Okay, let's do it like that. So that should move into the render method that I have over here. So okay, let's just slightly adjust this. So I want to move this over here. It will be inside of the render method. Oh, come on. And there. Right. So, okay. Render squares I already have. I will need to move the render background, render blocks. Yep. So the important part is this will be my container. And I'm still kind of thinking that this should just straight up return the container. But yeah, let's revisit that idea a bit later. Or actually, okay. Maybe I'm update text, update candidates. So is this thing actually overwriting? Yeah, no, okay, so this thing is literally overwriting everything. And this should actually be returning the container as well, because it has it okay, let's just make it like that, because otherwise it's just weird. So let's have this vnodes go over here, and this will just return the container. And actually, where the heck is this code? Should have done that first. Where is this method called? Render squares. Squares render. Squares back. Yeah, okay, so this is just getting silly. Right, so this should be auto container equals this thing, and then just push back container. Yep. And yeah, this needs to change. And then I don't think I actually need this method. Yep. So sure, let's just comment it out for now. Because I render it, I get the container, and it's like the only time that I actually directly access the ASM DOM nodes, because then everything else is just like updates and whatnot. And basically, because I have these classes that actually wrap the vnodes, that is kind of the point of introducing these classes, is so that I kind of hide the vnodes, and then all I just do is, you know, update text, update candidates, whatnot. That kind of abstracts from me having to go over these vnodes. Okay. No, I think that's cool. So we have this in here, so let's do the same thing over here. Render. Yep. So if I just go back to my main, actually, because we just ripped out a thing over here, right? So over here, what we'll do is UI.render. So this will be one child, this will be the SVG. Yep. What are you complaining about? No member in UI Sudoku grid. I mean, there is. It's just getting a bit confused. Right, so this should be the vnode needs to go here. Come on. Oh yes, because I small typo. That would explain why the ID was a little bit confused about what the heck I'm doing. Right, so this returns the vnode, and it will be the container. So return container. Perfect. And I do have the render squares, which is great. And this isn't taking any parameters. Sure, okay, so that's perfect. It will need to take some for the actual, yeah, for if I want to make this non-hard-coded to 9, but sure, let's revisit that later, like one step at a time. I keep having these crazy ideas and trying to implement all of them at the same time, and it ends up being really bad. So I do have the render squares. Now we need the render backgrounds and render blocks. But before that, I think it's the perfect time to actually get a short break. And yeah, I will just do that. I will be back in 5 minutes, and we will just continue working on the UI and slowly improving it. So yeah, see you in 5 minutes.
So alive, I've never felt this way before. It must be you and I. It's got me thinking about us more. It's these bright lights, they put me in a daze, and I can't stop but think about the way that you move around up and down on that stage. It's your future vibes. Bright lights, they put me in a daze, and I can't stop but think about the way that you move around up and down on that stage. It's your future vibes. Bright lights, they put me in a daze, and I can't stop but think about the way that you move around up and down on that stage. It's your future vibes.
Okay, and I'm back, and we are continuing with the changes to the UI. Right, so we have the render squares as I said, and now the time is to do the render background. So let's do that. Render background. Let's go to our main. It should be somewhere here. Render background. Yep, here it is. Still no. Yeah, okay. So this still doesn't have any parameters, and render buttons is the next one. Okay, cool. We are getting there slowly. So this thing needs to go over here. Again, the namespaces. So here, 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 here. Okay, all over the place, right. Yeah, I'm kind of tempted to not do this and just have a using namespace. It's not too much, and this kind of makes it more explicit, which I have to admit I kind of like. So okay, so this now needs to be a member of the Sudoku grid, which means I need to go into the header and just edit over here. Yep. So we have the render background now. Okay, so over here, and now just the render blocks is the last remaining thing. Render blocks. Okay, so it's this one. Perfect. So let's just move it over here again. And again, the same treatment. So let's just add the namespaces. Oh, come on. Okay, the next thing I'm doing, I'm looking at the settings of my ID, because this is really getting on my nerves. I really need to figure out, like, why is it trying to indent the namespaces? That's so weird. Okay, so this thing needs to go to the header as well, over here. And I think we should be good. What is it comparing over here? Implicit instantiation. Yes, that's such a weird error for a missing include. What the hell? I think it's a missing include. But this is like the weirdest error. It's S-stream, right? Yes. Yeah, okay. Wow, geez, like sometimes the compilers are just going completely haywire. I'm not surprised that people get confused by C++ from time to time. But yes, okay, so our render now should actually render, which if I now compile it, right, okay, now I have a problem with the constructor, which, okay, sure, so for now this will be relatively easy, so I can just move this down, basically, well, not so down, I still need an access to it over here, right, but over here I can pass in a vector. Actually, I should just make this. I could change the constructor of the UI to just take a initializer list of the callbacks. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Right, this should be vector function bool m script val, and here it should have the on square click, right? Okay, what are you complaining about? Initialization of template. Oh, yes, function. Kind of forgot about that. Yep. Now it should be okay, and it is okay. Cool. So let's try to compile this again. Jeez. Well, there's more references to UI. Well, crap. Okay. This thing needs more cleanup than I thought it will. Well, okay. So let's see. Oh wait, what the heck? The on square click itself is accessing the UI? Oh no. I should have checked this before I did this. Oh, that's so bad. I mean, it will work. The problem is this is a circle dependency basically. And circle dependencies are always awkward to deal with. We have the UI that's calling this on square click, but the on square click is also accessing the UI. So that's, to be honest, that's kind of making me feel that I should make this thing be part of the Sudoku grid. Yeah, maybe I should. I don't know. Okay, let's see if I broke anything, if this is still working. Yep, clicking still works. This still works. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, all seems to be working. Yep. So the thing is, I kind of don't want to move this inside of the Sudoku grid. I really kind of like the idea of the Sudoku grid just being the visual elements, and then like any kind of callbacks and that kind of stuff is just, that's kind of the logic of the thing, right? Like there is code that displays things, and there's code that actually like mutates the state and responds to events, right? And I think these two things kind of should be separate. They will inherently be intertwined because, like, obviously, like, this thing, since it's responding to something, it needs to actually ask the visualization part of the code to go and, hey, now things have changed, please go ahead and redraw things. But I do kind of like these two things to be separate. Okay, but so the current thing is working. So let's have a look at the methods that actually we have here. Oh, and right, and the container I don't need anymore because I just have the render. Okay. So what is still accessing the squares? Let's check that. Oh, so that's all inside of the Sudoku grid now. Cool. So I can make this private. Perfect. So that's one objective achieved. So what do we have here? We have render square background. When is this happening? It's happening in on square click. Okay. And oh, so this is doing the highlighting and de-highlighting. Okay. Sure. Should this be here? That's the question. It needs access to squares, so kind of needs to be here. One thing I could do, this could be shorter. I don't super like the fact that the place where I decide on the CSS class is here. The reason for that, this isn't super logical. Like, it should be inside of the square. Like, why would the grid decide on the CSS class names? That's a bit weird. So it's almost like there should be, I mean, this should be named differently. That's one thing, because the re-render square background is a very awkward name, but this update background should actually take this interface. Yeah. Well, okay, sorry, not like that. Almost. Because the ID is actually picking up the thing. It should have the just the bool highlighted. Yes, okay. So let's just add another Sudoku square update background. Bool highlighted, and the logic of picking this will be right here. Yes. And yeah, I actually need to put it into the header. And actually this one should now move to be private. Okay. So then this thing disappears from here, and we just have this simple two-line thing. Okay. I'm much more happy with this kind of stuff. It's just simple forwarding. The only thing we do here, we just parse the string into int, and that's it. Yeah, so much neater. But update background. Okay, so in this one I still need to call the update background with the CSS class. Yep. Okay, so this method calls this method, which actually does the job of re-rendering things. Cool. So that's for this thing. And I should call this, as I said, something more obvious. So not re-render square background, but update square highlight, because that's what it is. Like we pass in if it's highlighted or not, and yeah, the background really is just a weird implementation detail. What the heck is this music? Okay. And this I can leave in the header, like it's just a 2-line thing, that's fine. Re-render square content. Okay, so yeah, okay, I'm getting the feeling that this will need a similar treatment. Right. Okay. Oh geez, right. Okay, so we got two different things, update text. And the thing that we decide here is if it's hidden or not, because we give it the digit or digit hidden, and also the value. Sure, okay. Yeah, so this code cannot really get much shorter over here, but again, I think it makes sense to move this kind of logic inside of the update text. Right. So I will need an update text that takes a bool hidden and the value. It decides on the CSS class. Right. So again, over here we decide on the CSS class. So, oh, where the heck did it go? Oh, that's what was in the header, right? So if it's not hidden, it's digit. If it's hidden, it's digit hidden. Okay. So let's do that. Is digit. And if hidden, then big text class is digit hidden. Alright. Okay. And yeah, then I just call the update text with the big text class and a value. Right. So let's start with big texts. Let's give it a false. So this is fine, but over here big text hidden is true. Right. Big text hidden. Okay. and because we changed that, this thing should move to be a private thing now. Okay, cool. And then the similar treatment for the update candidates, right? I still need this kind of conversion thingy over here, but that's okay. Like, it's not a big deal. Okay, so update candidates. I just copy that. So instead of the CSS class over here, there will be bool hidden, and yep, I just need to copy this logic. Right. std string small text class if hidden, then just update this to be okay, and then call the original method update candidates with small text class and candidates. Right. Yeah, because now I need to go to the header. This moves into private, and this thing has bool hidden. Oh, I did it the other way around. This should be here, this should be down here. Okay. That should be all fine now. Still need to change it over here. Right, so this would be again bool small text hidden. Let's start with the false, it becomes true over here, so small text hidden true, and yep, like that. Small text hidden, perfect. And because this is a pretty long method, I will definitely move it into, actually can this do, move, no. Extract method. I'm sure it's possible to just like move it into the CPP file, but I don't quite know how. Sounds like a feature that's available, but I'm not quite sure how to actually trigger it. It still builds. Let's just double check if everything is still working. So the highlights are working. Yep, that's fine. Cool. Okay, no, seems to be working fine. So yeah, let's move this re-render square content. Okay, let's call it something different. So this is and maybe just call it update square content. Although, like, for this one, the re-render actually wasn't too bad of a name. Okay, so again, this needs to move to here somewhere. And this is in the Sudoku grid, yep. And then this can go away. Okay. Where is the update square value being called? Oh, so this is coming from the... Oh, actually, so is this just being called internally? Yes, it is. Okay, so this should really move into being private then. So let's do that. I think that's correct. Yep. I think the update square highlight that was being called from the onClick. Yes, okay, so that one needs to remain public, and the update square value I was just checking that was coming from on key down on mouse down. Okay, perfect. So this really should stay as it is, except it should just move into the CPP file. Okay. And again, this is another instance of this should just not be hard-coded 9x9. But yeah, as I said, this is like that's a different big problem that I will need to deal with at some point. Probably not today. Right, so we have the update square value, we have this thing, reset square. Where is reset square getting called from? On key down and mouse down. Okay. Oh yeah, right. This is basic reaction to pressing delete. Sure. So yeah, okay. This can remain as it is. I wonder, can it be? Reset square. Is reset square really the best name? I mean, probably it's not. But I don't like reset is a very generic word. But it is what it is doing. It's resetting it to like the default state. So I mean, it's literally calling reset on the puzzle. So I guess it will stay as reset square. Like, I don't really have a better idea for naming. Even though I'm sure I will complain about it next time. Sudoku grid. Yep. So okay. That's fine. So push history. Okay, I think this one should be private. Yes, because this is only getting called from inside of Sudoku grid. So yes, let's do that. This is mangling with the state of the URL. Yes, indeed. Which is fine. Yeah, okay. Yes, I already see a bit of inconsistency in the next method, but that's okay. Okay, Sudoku grid, yep. It's all correct. So now we have push history and restore state, and I think restore state is like the opposite method to push history. Right? Well, okay, kind of. Damn it, okay, these are not exactly symmetrical. The reason why they are not symmetrical is because the push history happens internally. The restore state is called from the outside. So yeah, okay, it can remain being restore state because it indeed isn't a symmetrical method to the push history. Yeah, okay. But yes, this should move into the CPP file for sure. Yep. Okay, update all squares. I suspect this thing is only, yeah, it's only called from the Sudoku grid. Okay, cool. So yes, this should move into a private thing, but also move into the CPP file. Yeah, let's do that. Let's make it private. Okay, like this is really starting to look much cleaner than it was when I started, which is very good. And I suspect solve and update squares. This is one of the things that gets called. Yep. Okay. So yeah, I think this just needs to move into the CPP file and that's it. And now that I did that, I really want to fix the stupid indentation because it's really getting on my nerves. Okay, so this is cleaned up-ish. Let's just test if it compiles and everything is working. Okay, seems like everything is fine. Yep, okay, things are happening. Cool, perfect. So, I wanted to figure out what the heck is wrong with my indentation. So, what was it like? It's a style? Yes, C++, right. So, for namespace, tabs and in. What the heck is happening? Tabs and indents. Indent members of a namespace 0. Okay. Yes. What else do we want to do? I think that was the only annoying thing, honestly. Yeah. Yeah, maybe I will run into more other annoying things, but that was the big thing that was annoying me right now. Okay, cool. So we have our Sudoku grid reasonably extracted. And I'm kind of realizing that honestly the only thing, so the only callback we are actually passing in is the on square click, which kind of makes sense in a way, because realistically, like the only events that would get passed in here are related to the squares. So it would also be the right. The thing that I wanted to work on next was the dragging, right? Click and drag selection. And for that one, I will definitely have some callbacks here. Okay, let's do this. So what I think I kind of need to test this, because again JavaScript is not really my forte. So what I want to do is in the square, wherever the heck I actually set up the callbacks. Where was that happening even? I don't even know. Oh, so that's on-click callback, right? So I don't want just the on-click. I don't even know what the callbacks are, damn it. Okay, let's just investigate. So where would I see that? Click, right. So this is my own click. Okay. Okay, so there's there's on drag end, on drag over, on drag leave, exit. What the heck? There's so many things that sound like super similar. What the heck? There's like a start. There's just an on drag. Okay. There's an end, exit, leave. I would kind of understand end and exit, which is like when the drag ends and then when the drag exits, like this element, but still continues. But there's also on drag leave, on drag over. What the heck? Okay. JavaScript on drag events. Okay. Oh, I think this is something different. Yes. Okay, so this is right. This is dragging and dropping elements. So this is not exactly what I'm looking for. Yeah, when an element's being dragged over. Yeah. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. How's stuff? I'm just trying to figure out how to detect like mouse dragging. And it's a bit complicated. Mouse enter, mouse leave. You just woke up. Okay. It's like, I'm guessing somewhere in America, or just like sleeping super heavily. Maybe this is the way to go. Canada, yes. I think you already mentioned that. It's just my memory is shit. Okay. I think I can do it with the mouse enter and mouse leave. But I would have to remember if I'm... what is the state of the mouse, as in if I'm pressed down or not. And I mean, there is mouse up and down. There's mouse out, mouse over. I mean, this is still the same example. Okay. JavaScript drag select. Oh. Interesting. There's this prevent default thing. I did have issues with basically the text getting selected sometimes. And that could be because I'm not calling this. Okay. So mouse down, mouse up. So then I think, okay, let's just write this down. So the logic would be mouse down, enter drag mode, mouse up, exit drag mode. And then basically what I kind of want while I'm in the drag mode, I kind of want the mouse, what was the method again? On mouse over? Yeah, probably. So mouse over would be if in drag mode. Hey, thanks for the follow. So if we are in drag mode, then flip the selection state of the square. I think that would be the way to go. The programming is fine. The stuff I'm doing is a little bit crazy, but yeah, I mean, it's going slowly forward. Because this is kind of a weird mix of C++ and JavaScript, which is always kind of weird fun. Okay, so we set it over here. Okay, so we just get the callback. So this would have to take more callbacks. So it would be... I still kind of want to keep the mouse click, right? Or maybe it will... Okay, I'm not sure how exactly... Okay, so I guess I should explain what the heck is happening here. So this is C++ code. This C++ code gets compiled into JavaScript, and you can either compile it into like relatively plain JavaScript or ASM.js, which is essentially like assembler in JavaScript. The benefit of ASM.js is that you actually get pretty good performance, because the virtual machines that run JavaScript can optimize. It's basically assembler, so they they can just take it and JIT compile that very easily into actual assembler. And then I have this library that's called ASM DOM, which basically allows you to manipulate the the DOM of the web page. So you can generate elements, you can interact with JavaScript, although the interaction with JavaScript actually, well, depends, right? So here basically you can see I'm setting up a callback on a group SVG element, and this done from the ASM DOM, but you can also interact with the JavaScript kind of directly, and I do that somewhere. Where was that? And that's actually done through mscripten. Yeah, it's pretty nuts, and it's a lot of fun. Like, right, so you can do this kind of thing. This is basically like, this is essentially saying, hey, this thing is actually JavaScript code, and just do this, which is window on pop state, set it to module on pop state, and the on pop state here in the module is actually the cross-compiled C++ code. So if I look for on pop state, it should be somewhere here, right here. So I have a method on pop state that actually does, the debug log, whatever. So this function gets bound to this, this event on the window, and yeah, this is actually the place where I tell it to export this function as under this name. So yeah, like all of that is just the same name, it's on pop state, but you could basically, I don't know, I can call it whatever, and it would work. So yeah, it's a lot of crazy fun. You kind of need to understand JavaScript a little bit, because like all these events and stuff, that's that's pure JavaScript. But it really allows you to just write C++ code to like manipulate the UI. And I mean, I can show. So if I just close this, like this is all written in C++. And so the main benefit is this is a Sudoku solver, and if I just press solve, what just happened was there's just pure C++ code that's the solver, and because of like all this stuff being just C++ compiled into JavaScript, the solver itself is also compiled into JavaScript. So I'm just calling a JavaScript method, but all of that stuff is just C++. And there, I don't know how much of a performance advantage there is. It's more of a kind of, C++ is a strongly typed language that you compile, it's much easier to test and everything, and then you just trans-compile that into JavaScript, and as long as that transformation isn't, broken somehow, but that's, I'm relying on the compiler and everything to be correct, obviously, then you end up with a much, like, safer code. You still have like weirdness in the interactions, because like these functions kind of get like a very, this is pretty much, does the C++20 have any? I don't actually remember, but it's basically like a union of all the types. Yes, it does have any. It's basically std any, right? It's like a thing that can hold any value. So you have, like, on these interfaces, you kind of need to be careful what you are doing, because, this can be undefined, this can be whatever, but, like, if you kind of solve these, like, this dynamic weirdness on the interface, then all the rest of the code can be perfectly statically typed, and everything is, neat and tidy and C++. And also, come on, like, C++ is great, like, JavaScript is a horrible language. Like there's okay, let me try to do this. JavaScript talk. What? Yeah, this thing. So I would definitely, and I will just post the link into the chat. This is an amazing talk. It's pretty old, and it's a very short talk. It has like, I don't know, how long is it? It's like 4 minutes. But if you haven't seen it, this is definitely worthwhile. And it's not just about JavaScript. It's like making fun of a bunch of like the dynamic languages. It's like very much demonstrating what happens if you have a dynamic language. Like you end up with a lot of weirdness. So C++ is very powerful, definitely. And I keep saying like C++ is really the only truly universal language. Like you can really do anything in C++. There are other languages where you can technically do anything, like Java, but they have a bunch of weird limitations. Like for example, you know, technically you can do anything that you can do in C++ in C, but C is a pretty low-level language. So if you try to write like high-level code, it's very awkward and cumbersome. You don't have that with C++. Like with C++, you can build up these abstractions. With Java, you can run into really weird performance issues, and while Java is kind of meant to be perfectly like cross-platform, it really actually isn't. There's a bunch of weirdness there. C++ is like a very well-defined language, which also means it's an absolutely massive beast. But I mean, there are certain benefits to that. And yeah, you can do crazy stuff like this, like you know, you can actually write websites. So I mean, Python is, oops, what did I just do? Didn't want to do that. Okay. Python is certainly a language that's super popular right now. But if you know Java, I don't know how useful it would be to go for Python, because like from what I know in the industry, like these two languages kind of have the similar place-ish. Like you kind of use Java for similar things that you use Python for. I would maybe go for something like either JavaScript or, you know, one of the flavors like TypeScript, and there's a bunch of these like strongly typed variants. Or then go down to like C, C++. That would be my opinion. Okay, so what the heck was I actually doing? Right, I was looking at the callbacks. So can I just grab the util debug log? Right. Yeah, let's just do that. Just to see what happens. So if I go here, on mouse, what was it again? On mouse down, up and over. Okay. On mouse down, let's do debug log. on mouse up, the same idea, debug lock, and on mouse over, again debug lock, right. And I haven't included the util. Yep, let's just do that. So now it should be in no matching constructor. So this is expecting an std function, but it should be fine because this is... No, wait, what the heck? This is putting in the wrong one. Oh, right, because I guess it doesn't really know which one to put in. Shoot, how do I do that? Well, I can either go through std function or just do static casting. That should be also fine. Wait a second, is this void or bool? Oh, it's void. Why is it void? That's fine. Okay, I can just change that. Yeah, I need to change it to bool because the actual prototype of the callbacks is always bool. So this thing, sure, let's just do return true. It's okay. Right. Okay. Was that actually all that was required? Maybe. No, it's still complaining. Okay. So let's do static cast, bool, mscript 10 val. So what this should do, it should actually pick the correct maybe address of overloaded function cannot be static cast to type. No, I'm not static casting you into bool. What the heck? Come on. Wake up. Why is this not... Oh, because it's... Did I mistype that? Okay. No, I didn't. Oh, I did. mscript 10, wow, okay. I cannot be static cast to bool. So C++ allows typecasting, but I'm not quite sure what the problem here is, I have to admit. So there should be this method that's the correct prototype, so what exactly are you complaining about? Damn it, I thought this was the way to do it. Oh. Yeah, this is the problem with C++, like some of the functionality, if you don't use it for like ages, then just forget. Okay, let's just go for std function then, that's also okay. Yeah, let's just do this. Still not happy? Address server does not match required type. What the heck? But it does. It's here. What the heck is the problem? Okay, I really don't understand what's happening here. Address of solver does not match required type. Required type should be bool and script and val. I mean, that's literally what I have here. Candidate function. Okay, am I just going crazy? Like, this candidate is exactly what I want. Yeah, like C++ doesn't really have an interface. Like, you can make a thing that behaves like an interface, but there's no like strict notion of an interface. Okay, I'm super confused. Let's see, wait, so this... Okay, let's just rename this one. So weird. And sure, let's just call it debug log x. And now if I try to compile it, no matching function for call debug log. Ah, because now, okay. Sure. Let's just fix this very quickly. So it was really complaining because of the overload, but I mean that should be okay, damn it. I'm sure there's a way to do this. Okay, this is really bothering me. Let's go to Compiler Explorer. Okay, so let's just try this. So we will have a void test that takes sure std string and of course need the string include. Yeah, Godbot is amazing. So, and now I want an overload. So let's just do bool x, and let's do one more. Let's make it a double. Okay. So, oops. I'm pretty confident that I can do something like this. I want a variable that's a pointer to a function, so this will be void y. Oh jeez, I haven't done this in ages. I don't remember the syntax. Is that correct? Something like that? No, shit. Function pointers. This is like a full int. No, this should be correct. What the heck? Ah, it's actually correct, it just has a typo in the string. So this works, what the heck? like I'm starting to feel like I'm just hallucinating or something. Like this is working. Like what's the difference between this code and the code I have here? What the heck? I'm just so confused right now. Okay, I really have no idea what was happening here. So strange. Okay, anyway, now it works, so whatever. Yeah, okay, actually, sure. Let's run a very short demo then. So let's do. No, we don't want to do that. Damn it. Add. Why am I not seeing the? Okay. So you can see the generated assembler, and there isn't much right now because, you know, there isn't much happening. But for example, if I do return 1, then we should see that it's actually returning 1 over here. And it has these functions that do nothing. So literally like all these three things just compiled into one assembler instruction, which is just return. And you can easily switch between different versions of compilers. It has like, you know, a lot of them. So it's great for like testing, like even experimental things. Like you can see here, like there's a bunch of experimental versions of Clang, which is a C++ compiler. Yeah, like for example, this is like different special versions of GCC that have different new features in them, so you can basically like pick one of them and play with that. And it's great for figuring out like if you are working on like super high performance code, you can have situations where like you write a piece of code, but one of the compilers, for example, doesn't really optimize things perfectly. So you can then go here and kind of look at the generated assembler and see, oh, but you know, this version of GCC is actually working, and the previous version was also working, but the, you know, the newest version is, for example, broken or something. So you can then go and fill in the bug report, and you actually have, you know, evidence. Hey guys, you know, this is a thing that's either like the other compilers are working fine with, or the previous version was okay and now it's broken, or you know. That's the main benefit of this thing, and it's also like you can, I think you can even run code here. Where is it? Compile to, yeah. So you can compile to binary, run the compiled output. So you can actually like write C++ code here and just like play with it. So now this is actually also the code. What am I looking at right now? Yeah, I don't want this. Yeah, anyway. But there should be outputs. Oh, because there's no output right now. Let's just do. Let's just print out hello world. Oops. Oh, okay, here's the output. So yeah, you can like literally use it as an IDE if you want. It's not the best thing, but I mean, Sure. Is it memory is the header or is it unique pointer? I never remember. To nonce, shit. No. What am I doing wrong? No, nothing I'm doing wrong. It's correct. Okay. Oh, I don't want to do this. Okay. And I guess we y and I guess for the fairness we should do delete y over here. And I guess let's just get rid of this so it's cleaner. Oh, it's got a little bit over optimized now. Yeah, because we're literally not doing anything, so it kind of optimized things out. Damn it. Return. Well, okay, then I need. This is annoying. How do I force it to keep the things around? It's actually a little bit tricky. Like, I can do it by not doing the delete. Essentially, I can do x plus y, right? And now it needs to keep them around because it needs them for the actual return. Oh, the bastard is still comparing it down to constants. Yeah, okay. I think current compilers are way too smart for this shit. Yeah, I think I would have to put in like there's like the assembler instructions that basically simulate the read of the entire memory or something like that. That would basically make it not optimize this. But yeah, it's unfortunately current compilers are a little bit too smart. But anyway, the thing I wanted to do over, I have the callbacks now set up, so let's just compile this. Yes. So let's go to here and open the console. Right. So now, okay, so we have mouse overs. Okay, so this would work, I think. Like, I'm getting also mouse overs for the other things, like the candidates and whatnot, but I don't really care about that. Like, the important thing is I do get the square mouse overs. I guess it's a little bit hard to see on the stream, actually. But, oh, damn it. But yeah, I'm getting the mouse overs for the squares. So yeah, I mean, if I remember, yeah, I need global state. So I need the mouse up and down to set the global state, and then the mouse over will be just flipping the selection, because it's like if I'm dragging and I drag into a square that's already selected, I think it should just invert that maybe just keep it selected. Okay, one of those. Either invert the selection or just make sure it's selected. I'm not sure which one of those will be like more convenient and cleaner. It just needs to be tested. But okay, this will work. This is good. So then, where is this thing actually called from? So this thing, I think this will be called from the Sudoku grid, right? Right, with the callbacks. Okay, now we are getting there. So, actually, the callbacks, this thing should actually live in the Sudoku square, because that's what these relate to. So we need an on square click, we need an on mouse down, on mouse up, and on mouse over. Cool. Then the render will not take a callback, it will actually take a vector of callbacks. Callbacks. Cool, this is all crystallizing perfectly. Callbacks, right, and over here, callbacks on mouse, on square click, right, on callbacks on mouse down, right. Callbacks on mouse up, and the last one, callbacks on mouse over. Cool. Then over right, so this just passes the callbacks over without doing anything fancy. But actually, where's this thing actually coming from? It's coming from the constructor, isn't it? Yes, okay. Which is fine. Okay, so this needs to go away. In my main, then. Right. So I will just need to implement these three things. So on mouse down, on mouse up, and on mouse over. Let's just double check if that was the... Yeah, it's click, down, up, over. Okay, it's, should be down, up. Yeah, makes sense. First it goes down, then it goes up. So... and just all of this should be over here. So on mouse, oops, down, on mouse up, and on mouse over. Cool. And now I actually need to wait a second. I already have an on mouse down. What the heck? Where is this getting used? I am very confused. Oh, because this is used for the buttons. Shoot, right, okay. So this should be called... yeah, I need better names, for sure. So on square click, that's okay. So this should be on square mouse down, yes. Yes. On square mouse up and on square mouse down, mouse over, I mean, okay. Yeah, because these all relate to a square. Which is cool, so then on square mouse down. Yeah, let's just create empty functions for now. Return true, I think is what is expected. The false is if the event wasn't handled correctly, if I remember. Oh geez, I haven't touched this code in a while, so things I have forgotten already. Mouse over, right? Let's just see if this explodes or if it actually works like that. So now like nothing should be happening, but it should work. Yep, that should all be fine. So, okay, so down, up. So this will just modify our global state. So there will be dragging, mouse select, dragging. Let's start with a false. Mouse select, dragging. So on mouse down it will set to true, and then mouse up it will go to false. And then on square mouse over, so if mouse select dragging, so if we are dragging the mouse, then now I want to do the fancy stuff, right? So I want to do actually I first want to check this thing. Yes, so if I'm actually getting this event for the square, and so if I got the event for the square and the mouse is dragging, then update square highlight. Yeah, so basically I kind of want to do this piece of code. Sure, actually yes, let's just make it like this. So this will, what this will do, get elements, yeah, I don't need this part. Okay, so as it is written right now, what it will do is dragging over squares will always just highlight them. That will probably be extremely annoying, but let's see if it actually works. Check it out. Okay. There's a problem where the first square doesn't get highlighted, but otherwise this works. Okay, but okay, this is nonsense. Like I really need I really need to be flipping the selection, because otherwise, like, what the heck just happened? Oh, I might be assuming that there's only one square that's highlighted somewhere. I think that was what just happened there. Okay, yes, there's definitely something broken in that code. But there's the on click. Okay, right. So let's roll back this one a little bit. So if it's already highlighted, yes, if it's already highlighted, then de-highlight, otherwise highlight. Okay, cool. Oof. So actually, let's just do. So we should be return true inside of here and return false outside. Okay. Let's rebuild. Okay. No, this is not correct. Shoot. No, not like this. Right, because this goes. Okay, right. I now I actually understand what the hell is happening with the weird. Well, maybe. I don't quite, still don't quite understand what's happening with the weird clicking, but okay, what this loop is actually doing, it's going over all the squares that I highlighted and de-highlighting them, which is not what I want. What I want is if this square is one of these, right? So if shoot. Bool found. Well, actually, okay, this is super silly what I'm doing. What I should do actually is check if this square is actually highlighted, which will be dataset, not the dataset. So it's the class. How the hell do I access that? Debug log E. Okay, let's just. Man, it has been ages since I touched this code. I have forgotten everything. This is so embarrassing. Well, and I need the. Okay, so I got the square. Correct. It's the. I think it's just a score. It's just E target, and then just class. So if E target class is square highlighted, was it? What's this thing? Yeah. So if it's already highlighted, then de-highlight. So this will be UI update highlighted false, and else I want the true version of this. Okay. And I don't need this piece of code at all. Right. And should be S string. Right, it should be fine. And technically I should be checking all this stuff because this is now like doing very dynamic stuff. Okay, reload. Okay. Oops, no, yeah, the dynamic stuff is breaking. Cannot pass non-string to string. Okay. So, sure, if I do debug log over here of e target and debug log of e target class, I think this will be undefined, the second one. But okay, let's just comment this out for a bit. And let's see what happens. Reload. Come on, reload. Okay. Yeah, so the second one is undefined. What the heck? There's class list. Right. Okay, that's So, what was it? Class list with a big L. Okay, so class list. Can I do S vector of strings? I don't know. Well, let's test this further. But maybe I can do basically S vector of strings. Yes, so this is fine. So can I just do this? Oh, okay, let's take it step by step. So let's print out this thing still, and let's just do this. I'm not quite sure what this will end up being, but let's see. Maybe it will work. Cool. Okay, so dot s string. This is a bit a bit awkward, but I guess if it works. Let's see if this allows me to do that, or if it will complain that it cannot convert it into string again, which, you know, that can always happen. So I mean, okay, so I know I'm looking at a square because that's the thing I check here through the target dataset type. So it's either the class list will be either a square or square highlighted. There should never be a different value there. So I'm kind of relying on a lot of dynamic state, but it should be fine. Okay, there's a okay, there's a lot of weirdness with these, because when I go over one of the candidates, it like re-triggers the re-triggers the event. So maybe this is not the correct. Maybe this is not the correct event to watch for, because yeah, this gets like re-triggered when I go over the candidates, which, oops, and then something broke. Interesting. Yeah, this is not amazing. Interesting. This is like freaking out completely. How can I fix this? Is there like a on mouse enter or something? JavaScript on mouse enter. And the mouse points moves onto an element. It does not bubble, does not propagate up the... So okay, maybe I actually do want this one. On mouse enter. So sure, let's just do a quick hack over here. So on mouse enter. And let's see if that fixes things. Where the heck is my this thing? Right. Okay. Well, cool. Now it doesn't work at all. Yeah, okay, these dynamic things are now failing like crazy. So, okay, what the heck am I getting as targets now? I think there's some confusion there. Where's my event? Over here, right. So, let's just comment this out for a bit. I want the debug log target. And sure, I can also do the class list, that's fine. Okay, let's see. Let's see what happens. Oof, what? How did that happen? Okay, reload, and let's see. Now things are freaking out again. Oh, what the heck? This is like freaking out completely. What the heck? So I think we are not even getting to this. It's this a string. What the heck? Okay, let's just do return true over here, and let's just print the target. It might now complain about the unreachable code, we'll see. No, it's fine. Okay, cool. Okay. What the heck? This is not getting the event, this is getting the element. What the heck? Yeah, this is, it's... Wow, okay, this is very confusing. Well, yes, but somehow, and I think it's the difference between this event actually doesn't bubble. So because of that, it's straight up getting the element instead of the event, which, I mean, okay. Oh, But I'm actually, yeah, okay, you're right. I'm just being a moron. Okay, right. Yes, e-targets is indeed supposed to be the element. I'm just, yeah. Yeah, have been streaming for almost 3 hours and it's starting to show. Okay, so mouse and, okay, so this is cool. So target is fine. Data cell. Okay. So what is... Huh. Okay, let's... I'm a bit confused about which element is actually getting... What the heck is this G? Which one is that? Yeah, so okay, so the problem is this is the parent that's getting this. Yep. Well, not this exact version, but yes. So this is the solver, and the UI is, which is the thing I'm working on right now. Damn it. Right, this thing. There you go. Okay, am I actually putting the event on the wrong thing? That could definitely be the case. So Sudoku square. Okay, so indeed. Yeah, okay, so that's wrong. I don't want to set the events on this thing. I want to set the events on the background, right? Yes. Wait, how did this ever work? This is a bit weird. I think it just worked because of the event bubbling. So this should be happening over here. So H rectangle, blah 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 blah, and somewhere. Oh shoot! Okay. Let's go back. Right, I need this entire thing actually, which goes until here. Okay. That should be good. Yeah, so that's data, so this should go over here. Oops. And yeah, now I need to pass the callbacks over here. So this was render right here. So the render background needs to take this thing as well. Oh shoot, but that's annoying because I think this gets caught from more places. Okay, let's roll back a little bit. So this thing, Yeah, the problem is this also gets called from the update background. Okay, so this is a bit more complicated now. Let's just roll back this thing. So can I should actually be able to access the children. Alright, let's just do sure. So children data set no. Oh shoot. Okay, so this, okay. So I can iterate over the children. I guess that will be the most sensible thing to do. Oh, thanks for the follow. Yeah, okay, let's iterate over the children. Because actually binding the callbacks on the correct thing is quite awkward. Okay, but one thing actually, let's test one thing before I do that. So just to verify, so target, yep, okay. So let's just recompile this again, just to be sure. Okay, because the reason why I'm doing this is I don't want to like get this even multiple times. Okay, it looks like that's correct. Like unless I actually exit the square, I don't see the event multiple times, even though when I hover over like the elements inside of the square. Okay, cool. So over here, right? I get a mouse over. Well, first of all, since now the heavy lifting actually happens inside of this thing, let's just first check if we are actually in the mouse dragging mode. And if not, then just return true. Right. So if you are not dragging the mouse, nothing is happening, and just quickly exit out. If we are in the mouse select dragging, I want to get the E target, right? Children, but I want to loop over this, and there's children length or something like that. Child element count. Okay. So let's make a for loop over here. The line will be E target child element count S int. I guess I can do it unsigned, that's fine. It's unsigned, right? And for now, let's just do children I, let's just print them out. So again, debug log, just do this thing. That should work. Let's see if it works. And that should only happen when we are in the dragging mode, actually. Oh, what the heck is happening? Right. Change things around. This should be return true as well. Okay, sure. Okay, that's just warning, whatever. Reload. So now I'm not in the mouse dragging mode, nothing is happening. I press down. Still need to fix the first square, damn it. Okay. But then the second square, and it prints out all the children. Perfect. Okay, yeah, okay, so this is working. Cool. So then, if the child... So if... this thing... now I want the dataset type. So this thing, string, is not square. So if the child I'm looking at is not a square, then just continue with this loop and go to the next child. And now if I do debug log, hey, thanks for the follow. What is happening? So many follows. And by the way, like, feel free to ask questions if you are interested in anything. I'm super happy to stop and explain stuff. So now if I print this e target children I, this should only print the rectangles. I shouldn't. I need to fix that. Okay, but nope. Well, okay, it does print the rectangle, but then it just like crumples to dust. What the heck? Yeah, there's something weird going on. Yeah, I'm a bit into the weird neon stuff. And I think you haven't seen my like intermission screens and stuff. Like, this is the, you know, the typical synth-right nonsense. Like, one negative of that is like sometimes it's a little bit hard to read. And I haven't really figured out like a nice way to make it readable at the same time as, you know, neon and crazy. Oh well. Okay, so okay, let's roll back a little bit. So if I get rid of this if and just print out the thing again. Oh, I just get rid of this because I will keep forgetting. So reload again. So why is it not? There should be dataset. What the heck is it? So if I just do dataset here. Oh, wait a second. Is it that one of these doesn't have the dataset? That could be it. Yes, this one is just an empty thing, right? Oh, how I forget. There's a way to test for undefined here. Is now? Okay, so okay, let's try to do this way. So if this is now, then continue. Okay. And now if I just print out the children, it should skip over the one that doesn't have the type in the dataset, I think. But yeah, this is really like JavaScript nonsense. That's kind of not exactly what I'm great at. No, it doesn't seem to do that. So is it not now but undefined? Okay, let's try that. Oh, thanks. Raising, like, you know, as I said, if you have any questions, I'm super happy to explain. For the most part, I just keep like, you know, coding and doing my crazy nonsense, which has the negative that it's sometimes a little bit too advanced for people, and people don't ask questions. Ah, perfect, it was undefined, so now it's just printing out the rectangle and the text. So I always laugh if people actually ask, you know, clarifying questions. One thing I definitely want to do is actually make an online course on YouTube and basically have either Saturday or Sunday just like being, you know, answering questions and reviewing homework and that kind of stuff. Because specifically for C++, I think the current situation around like learning C++ is really bad. And I really want to create a very easy, simple course that people can follow. But yeah, like it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and I still have a normal job, so it's, you know. But yeah, I'm really trying to do that. I'm kind of hoping that over the like Christmas vacation I will actually have time to sit down and do that. And basically the thing is, I just need to end up with the like having the course in text and then just making the videos I can kind of do over time, but I need to have the entire course done like end to end, just from like structure and content perspective. And then the videos can just be created, you know, like one by one over time. That's fine. But I really need to map out everything and kind of be sure that I don't do like weird things like talking about things that, you know, I haven't explained yet and so on. The fortunate thing is that I do actually have experience teaching C++ at university level, so I did that at some point. Of course, that was like before C++ 11 even, so yeah, like it needs some updates. Perfect, we are finally only printing the rectangles. Okay, cool. So now I can do the thing I wanted to do over here, which was this thing. Okay. Oh geez, so much work. So then okay, how the heck do I make this work? So this becomes this. So the class list is square highlighted, then I need to still figure out the square ID as well, which is this thing. Okay. Okay, so I have the square ID, which I need to change to this actually. Okay. Then if it's highlighted, then de-highlight it. If it's not highlighted, then highlight it. Okay. This should work. Let's see. If I didn't scrub anything. And it does work. Perfect. Cool. Okay. Yeah, okay. I think it works correctly. Now, since this is working, I can just clean up this code a bit. Right. I still need to fix the on click, and also I need to fix the first square. Okay, so let's just reload. So there's two problems, right? There's a problem when I'm holding the mouse down now, but this square is not getting selected. If I move to the next square, it works, of course, but the first square doesn't get highlighted, even though it should. And the same like when I'm holding mouse here, this square should have gotten dehighlighted. But the on click is completely broken, because yes, this is just like did crazy shit and also thrown an error. Okay, so let's have a look what's actually happening there. So this was the on, where is that? On square click. Okay. So I don't want to dehighlight all the other squares, actually. I just want to change the state of this one, I think. Yes, okay. So that will be basically this piece of code. So, right. So yes, now it's just target without the children part. Okay, so this I already have. So if the square is highlighted, then dehighlight. Okay, cool. And I don't need this part. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's just first highlight a bunch of things. Okay, if I click on the... Yeah, I need to kind of click outside of the... It's not good. Okay. Actually, wait a second. Like, if I... If I just do debug log here, and actually the debug target, okay, so if I do this, is it just because of the false over here? Okay, wait a second, if I change it to true, will it just magically get fixed? It could. Okay, so just highlight a bunch of stuff, click. Huh. Interesting. So this is... I get the event for basically the like child of the square that is getting clicked. And yes, sometimes it's the text, sometimes it's the rectangle. And if it's the text, that should still work, because if it's the text, I should still have the data cell ID. Ah, right. But this thing will fail. Okay, okay, I get it. So the cell ID is okay, so I get the correct cell ID. But then the problem is this condition is broken if I click on the text. I mean, this is almost like I should just make a helper function here. Updates. So instead of having an update square highlight, I should really have something like a flip square highlight, which will be a method that figures out the current state and then flips it. Because yes, like I'm running here into the issue that I can kind of figure out which square I'm referring to, right? But I have trouble obtaining the state. Okay, so let's do that. So let's make a flip square highlight. So this will just get the square ID. So update background, right? So I mean, actually what I should straight up do, I can just remember this, right? Like squares, this thing, background, I can literally have a bool highlighted over here that I just initialized to false at the beginning, of course. Well, that should be happening in the render. Highlighted equals false, right? So then in the update background, what I want to do is well, actually what I want to do is return this, reset the highlighted to highlighted, and then just just follow this logic as it was before. That's fine. But I also want a flip background thing over here, right? So that doesn't take anything. Flip background and reiterate this thing. Oops, kind of missed a couple of letters there. No, I didn't. What the heck? What happened? Okay, anyway. So the flip background, okay, let's just move it next to the update background. Update background, right. So this will highlighted not equals highlighted, right? Just flip it. Shoot, I cannot do that. I need to do it like this, right? So flip the state, and then if, well, actually let's just do update background with highlighted, yes. Well, actually, okay, I'm overcomplicating it so much. Okay, yes, just call update background with the negation of highlighted, and that's exactly what I want to do, because this one will update the highlighted state anyway. Okay, sure. Cool. So since I now have flip background in the in where the heck was it? Flip square highlight, right? So instead of update, just do flip. Yep. And then in my main, what I can do is here, I don't need this crap, I just can do UI, flip square highlight, square ID, and the same should be happening over here. Yep. And I mean that's it, I think. Let's see if that's correct. Okay, there's still something weird happening. Maybe. Right. Man, I don't know if I like it. Okay, but this works now. But I have to admit, I'm actually not sure if I like the fact that it's like de-highlighting like this. And I still have some errors happening somewhere. Cannot pass. Yeah, okay. Oh, because I somehow have gotten the base cell now. What the heck? How did that happen? Wait, but that still has a cell ID. What the heck? Okay, what? I think it's here the problem. Okay, so if target dataset, right. So if the type is actually undefined, can I just return true? I'm not quite sure when that actually happens. But at least I will not be getting these uncode exceptions. Yeah, I'm like it's a logical way for the drag thing to work. Why is it? Yeah, okay, that's a thing I will need to fix. Like this, that it selects the text is really annoying. But I actually have to say I don't know if I like it this way. It might be better. Yeah, I have to say I'm not super convinced that this is the way to go. But I mean, okay, at least like kind of works. Okay, let's check one thing. So now if I have a bunch of things selected, okay, this part is working fine. Okay, so my edit functions are always editing everything that's highlighted, which is cool. So yeah, I mean it is a progress this, but I'm not convinced that this is a progress in the correct direction. Hmm. Okay. But okay, so this is all cool now, which is good. So okay, what is the state actually? So I have this all refactored, which is cool. This is all refactored as well. Okay, that's all cool. Let's go back to the notes. What? Okay, so control click, extend selection. Oh, the control click I didn't do. Okay, click drag I have. So two things. One thing is the first square doesn't get highlighted on mouse down. And that's actually super easy. Okay, I know exactly how to fix that. So in the mouse down, this thing, not just this, but also straight up just call on mouse over. Yeah, this should straight up work. Oops. Yes. Okay. Back to my UI. Interesting, that doesn't seem to work. Why would it not work? Oh, because it should be actually on square click. Because this one, right? So the on mouse over is the special event that gets the surrounding object, but these actually bubble. Okay. So let's try again. Yes. Okay. Now it's fine. Ah, shoot. Now my clicking doesn't work. Well, okay, that's awkward. Yeah, as long as I drag, it actually works fine. But the problem is if it's a click. Ooh, okay. This is oh. Damn it. That's annoying. That's very annoying. This is almost like I need to do some sort of timing thing. Like if you click within... So that's not the issue. The issue is that both of the on mouse down and on mouse click fire. Like I can show you that. So if I go to the on square click, right? Like I can just do debug log clicked. It was debug log x. Okay. So the actual problem is that... Wait, what? Yeah, twice, okay. It's just doing compression. So yeah, like here you can see that this actually got triggered twice. So I kind of want to like ignore the click after mouse down but I don't want to do that forever. Like I really like that's Okay, is there I'm sure I'm not the first one having this issue. Ignore mouse click after mouse down. Prevent click event after mouse down. Yeah, people are doing like timing things. Oh, that's annoying. That's so annoying. No, geez, this is very complicated. Okay, so essentially the only way to fix this is forbid clicks that are too close to each other. So what I can do is have a static okay, what's the there's like a chrono library in C++ now, right? Chrono oh, come on, like why is it not showing the actual library? Why is it showing like just the imports? That's so silly. Right, this thing. Right, time point represents the time point stores. Can I just get now? Yes, okay, this thing. Duration, yeah, I basically want this exact code. So I want a static time point so this will be the last event, and on the first one it will just get initialized to now. So then whenever I enter this function, I want to have a now event, and over here, if yeah, I mean, you know, if I wasn't, then it would be really just me writing code and people looking at me writing code. That would be kind of lame. But I'm super glad you like it. Okay, so this is the duration between the last event and now. Okay, actually, wait, what's the, okay, auto, let's call it elapsed. Okay, so the elapsed now has the actual time that passed between the now and the last thing we remembered, at which point we can actually update the last. So let's just update the last to now. And okay, I also want to remember the last cell ID. Okay, so this will be another static thing over here. Last cell ID. So if someone is like super fast clicking on different cells, I don't want to prevent that. I really just want to like prevent double click basically. Yeah, it's even, yeah, like if I do a double click, I don't want to revert to the original state, essentially. That's kind of what this is doing. So if last cell ID is the same as square ID and elapsed is less than is this, what is it, microseconds? I probably don't want microseconds. Let's just do milliseconds. Let's do 100 milliseconds. So if it's less than 100 milliseconds from the last click, then, and I will need to play with this because maybe, you know, this will maybe not be amazingly what am I trying to say? This might not be the best feeling behavior. I just need to tweak the timings to be like good enough. So if this is true, actually let's invert the logic. So if, okay, if the square IDs are different or the time elapsed is more than 100 milliseconds, only then do the flip. Otherwise, everything is correct, and then just I need to update the last cell ID to square ID. Okay. I think this is all fine. Except one thing, I'm updating the time in a different place than I'm updating the last cell ID, which is a bit weird. So this should actually be happening over here. So the elapsed I just calculate here, and down here I just update the last time and the last cell ID. Okay. This should all be kind of making sense. Let's try it. So, reload. So okay, I don't think it's 100 milliseconds. There's something wrong with the time, because I keep clicking and oh right, actually there's right, okay, few things. This is okay, but I really only want to do these updates if I actually flip the square, I think. Because if I didn't make any change, it doesn't make sense to update these things. Because then I would just like keep resetting the timer potentially forever if someone is like clicking super fast. Okay, let's see. There's still something wrong with the time. Let's make it shorter. Oh, wait a second. This should be now minus last. Is that the problem, that I just had the my times inverted? Could be it. Ah, yes. Okay, cool. Wait a second. Now it's even more broken. What the heck? Okay. Okay, this is weird. So I'm not quite sure what is happening. Huh. Okay, I think I need a bit of debug logging for this, because this is kind of mystifying me. So it's definitely flipping the squares twice. And I mean 100 milliseconds, that's like reasonable timing. Okay, let's just put some debug logging here. Oh. Actually, this thing is screwing it up, I'm realizing. Yeah, I don't think we want to... We straight up just want this, like just timing wise. We don't really care about the squares IDs. Because the problem is the first time it happens... Yeah, okay. Now, I think, yeah, let's see if that's the theory is... Shoot, okay. Well, almost. What the heck? Okay, should this just be a higher number? Is that what the problem is? Am I just being like crazy and thinking that like 100 milliseconds is very long? Oh wow, it really was the 100 milliseconds. Okay, 200 milliseconds feels pretty good. Wow, but that's actually impressive. So that literally means that between the two events, there's 100 milliseconds delay. How is that possible? Like, it cannot be that slow. Like, that's insane. Wow. Okay, I mean, this works. The 200 milliseconds is just feels perfect. Okay, and yeah, we don't want to track the IDs at all. Wow. Okay. I mean, I have to say I'm shocked. Like, I would not expect like 200 milliseconds. Like, it's still like 200 milliseconds is okay for like interactivity, but wow, like the fact that it manages to like be so slow that 100 milliseconds still double triggers, that's crazy. Wow. Okay, one last thing I want to check is Yeah, okay, we have an issue. So the problem is the first time this function runs, it doesn't click because I'm initializing with study clock now. What I actually should be doing, is there like basically infinity in the past? That's kind of what I want. Or the epoch or whatever that thing is called. Time, well, not exactly time since epoch. I just want epoch. Can I get? I'm sure there's like, time playing cost. Damn it, there have to be like constants that represent the epoch somewhere. Years, milliseconds, nanoseconds. Oh, come on. Oh, just an empty time point. Okay. Right. Okay, so if I just do this and just initialize it, you know, the default value, that should actually be epoch. Okay. I think I was just overthinking it. Okay, let's see. Yep, okay, now it works. The first click actually works, perfect. Yeah, I still need to fix the text highlighting, but yes, this is working. What's the time? Okay. The first quarter is okay. So I think, can I do this one easily? To switch the buttons to candidates when the candidate mode is selected. Yeah, not really. That would actually be a significant amount of work. Yeah, because it's these things that kind of need to get refactored into another class. So that I should leave for tomorrow. Is there anything else quick that I can do today? I don't know. So one thing is the control click actually isn't needed because, so if I just reload it, right? Like it's basically like holding control, well, not really holding control by default, but it's like it's selecting and deselecting stuff by just like dragging around and doing things. So that mode isn't required. Oh, and the selection of the text is so annoying. Can I just... I wonder, is there CSS prevent text selection? So I stream Saturdays and Sundays starting at 2:30 Central European time. And I usually go for like 4 hours-ish. Sometimes it goes a little bit shorter, sometimes it goes a little bit longer. But usually like the 4 hours is kind of the sweet spot where I'm not dying yet and, you know, the quality of the stream is okay. And on Fridays I usually stream VR stuff, but I have been having technical issues lately, so it's kind of right, so there's like 4 hours ahead, I think. Wait, that's weird. 12:50. That's a weird time zone. Where do you live? Wait, is it 12:15 the other way around? Oh no, actually that makes sense because it's 5. Right, it's 5 hours difference. You are time zone -4, right? And okay, let's see. This is no, so it's 6 hours. What the hell? I cannot calculate numbers. Yeah, 6 hours, of course. Yeah. Yeah, this is why I end my stream after 4 hours because my brain is just shutting down. No, but no, this is saying it's 11. Oh, but is it? Wait. It's 6:15 over here. What the heck did I click? Yeah, so this is my time zone. Yeah, okay, cool. So I'm starting. It will be what, like 14, that's at 8 a.m., 8:30 a.m. for you, I think. Yeah, that's lining up. Okay, jeez. My brain is just fried, I think. I damn it, I need to like make a widget that just showing like when I start for like different time zones or something like that. But yeah, I mean, the problem is like I can't really. It's kind of hard for me to do this later. And like if I do get to the stage where I have the C++ course, I think I will be streaming for longer, because I will not just be coding, I will be, you know, replying to chat and doing other stuff. But like for coding, yeah, it's kind of hard for me to start later and or go longer or stuff like that. So yeah, it's for Americans. This stream is starting a little bit early, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm kind of thinking that. Oh yeah, I wanted to figure out the CSS thing. CSS. This no text selection. What do they say in the US? I wonder. They say a lot of things in the US. Most of that tends to be kind of crazy stuff, what they say. The early bird gets the worm. Okay, sure. Does that mean that I'm the worm in this context? Users Ah, right. Okay. Oh, yeah. That's a much better interpretation. I like it. Okay, so button text. Okay, let's put it here. Let's put it, so okay, so this goes here, it goes digit solved, sure. It goes small digits, yep. And digit. Okay, cool. Let's see if that was enough. So, oh, perfect. Now I cannot select the text. Oh, this is so good. Oh, or maybe I can. What the heck? Wait, so which? It's still kind of possible. What the heck? Inspect element. What is this actually? It's class small digit, so this shouldn't be happening. Maybe I don't have enough of these. Select none. Small digit. Did I put it into small digit? I did. Oh, there's also unselectable. Interesting. Okay, I think I will need to play with this a bit more. Okay, let's just copy this one because this one seems to be higher rated. Okay, so yes, so that was the. Let's just go through the entire thing. So right, digit, okay. Digit hidden probably doesn't matter, I would hope. Small digit, yep. Small digit hidden doesn't matter. Digit solved, yep, that one should have this. And button text, yes, I also don't want these to be selectable. Oops. Button text special, sure, okay. Button, okay. Let's try again. Okay. Okay, now I think I cannot select the text anymore. Okay, cool. So, okay, in that case it works, perfect. So yeah, I think I will be done for today. And I will be back tomorrow. So tomorrow I think I will kind of do the same treatment that I did to this part of the UI, to these buttons. The main thing here is like if I press on the switch between the candidate selection and the main buttons, I want to switch this around, and yeah, maybe then play with how I show the candidates a bit. We'll see. That's for tomorrow to be decided. So yeah, thanks for joining, and I will be back tomorrow. See you.